water?
Water. Yeah, water.
Yeah, we're gonna get out so you can see the water.
Water.
Cool water, huh?
And go over here, get some privacy, but still see the lake.
Yeah, sounds good. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today's video is a vlog. We are actually on a road trip. We are mid-road trip. I'm in the car if you can't tell. So in my last video, I mentioned that we were planning a weekend getaway, and today we are doing that. I'm gonna put this down because the sun is like straight up on Arlo. But today we are doing that. We're headed up north to a tiny town. Sorry if this lighting is crazy, but we're headed up north to a tiny town called Cambria, California. But currently we're about halfway there. Cambria is about 4 hours up north from where we live, and we're about halfway there now. So we decided to take a stop, take a rest break halfway through so I could nurse Arlo and we could get the dogs out because we've got the whole family with us. So Jordan just took Christian and the dogs outside. So we just pulled over at this little pretty lake. What lake is this, babe?
Pyramid Lake.
This is called Pyramid Lake. There's Christian. So we stopped here to get in some views, to get the kids outside, give ourselves a little bit of a break. It's been a little bit of a rough drive with this screaming kiddo and a toddler and 2 dogs. This makes me feel better for the car ride yesterday, how sad he was.
I love you. Yeah.
Bubby, what'd you say?
We love you.
We are up on our morning walk enjoying the beach views. We just stepped out of our hotel and this was right across the street. It was so nice. So we're walking the dogs on this little boardwalk and we've got breakfast coming to us when we get back.
You did good though, tough guy.
Christian, what are you doing? Playing in sand. Alright, so we are back in the hotel now, taking a little break from our vacay. We're getting ready to go downtown and just like walk around a little bit, explore some of the shops. So we're in this super tiny area or town called Cambria, which if you're familiar with California, you might know it, but it's this tiny little beach town. And the reason we came up here, I don't think I've gotten a chance to explain it to you guys yet, but the reason we came up here is actually because my grandpa's ashes are scattered on the beach that we were just at. So when I was a kid and my grandpa was dying of cancer, he wrote out on a piece of paper like all of this whole trip that he wanted my dad and my aunt, my dad's sister, to take to spread his ashes. And there's a couple different locations and they're all within driving distance of us. So we figured, how can we not take advantage of that? We were in desperate need of a getaway, and so we came up here. We were going to do the whole trip, recreate the whole trip that they took back in the 90s, but part of it is like the sequoias and lots of hiking, and it seemed like a lot for 2 kids, especially for our very first time away with both kids. So we did just the beach portion, and we're glad we did. There was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. So let's go. I'll check in later. You ready?
Yeah!
Are you ready? You ready to go on a walk? Wow.
You know what that means? It means he's actually tired.
Yep.
You're getting slap happy? That's cool. Give me 5s.
Hey, Bubby, can you pick up your buckets?
Oh yeah, pick your buckets.
Can you pick up the buckets and put them to the side, please?
Good job.
I know what I was gonna say. I was going to share with you guys that if you're curious about like safety what is going on here? I've got like this Michael Jackson hair.
I saw that earlier.
You saw it earlier and you didn't say
You were
anything?
filming yourself. I figured you saw it.
You let me film myself in it?
I'm saying just now, you were filming
Oh.
yourself, and I figure you're looking at yourself as you film.
No, babe. If you guys are curious about like safety precautions and stuff like that, this is our first time traveling all of 2020, and I think we've been pleasantly surprised with it. So just a couple things I'll mention real quick. When we got here, everything, I also feel like I've got some weird lines. I'm getting distracted by how much of a mess I look right now. Why are you rolling your eyes at me? When we got here, all of like the public, like common areas are closed. So like the area where you have kitchen, or where you have kitchen, the area where you have breakfast is closed. The pool is only allowing 10 people. So you have to sign up at the front desk. And any of like the seating area around it is closed. Our door was also, had a safety seal on it. So after they prepped our room, they sealed it shut and nobody came in and out, so it was closed when we got here. And then we had a brand new remote in packaging for us when we got here too, and everybody around here has been really good about wearing masks too. So I was kind of nervous about like what it would be like staying in a hotel during all of this, but it's been really good. And it's basically just like all of the typical amenities are closed down, and then the cleaning, where we're staying, the cleaning practices are like way ramped up. So figured I would share that with you if you're curious. Are you ready to go, sir? Sir, are you ready to go?
Hi.
Well, the food hasn't come yet.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Coming soon.
Bubba, can you say hi?
No.
No. All right, so we're back from exploring downtown a little bit. Christian opted out of taking a nap. He did not nap today. So we're going on a walk. We're walking this long boardwalk again, but we're going all the way till the end to see a little lookout point. It's so pretty. There's a couple different little lookout points. So we're gonna see what we can see. All right, we are back home now. It is Labor Day. We're back from our weekend away. As you can tell, I have my suitcase overflowing right next to me that we need to unpack. Like I mentioned, it's Labor Day and my neighbors are throwing what sounds like a large party. So hopefully you can't hear them in the background of this, but I realized I don't know if I ever got to like fully explain the purpose of our trip. I tried to a little bit, but Christian's so crazy, I don't know if he fully let me. So the purpose in going up to Cambria for us was because my grandpa's ashes are partially, or were partially, spread up there when I was a kid. So when my grandpa died from cancer when I was a young kid, and when he died, he wrote, or before he died, he wrote out this like instructions paper list for his kids, my dad and my aunt, to basically what to do with his remains when he passed away. And the instructions were to scatter his ashes at these 3 spots in Southern California, and then to have a memorial party instead of a funeral. I was like 4 when he died, so I grew up without him, but I feel like I have always had a connection to him. And the fact that, you know, I moved out to Southern California and I live about 20 minutes from where he lived is pretty crazy, because he just moved out here as an adult like I did, and there's no connection there. There's just fate, I guess. And so anyways, one of the spots was in Cambria, across from the Fog Catcher Inn, at low tide. That's what he wanted. And so that's what we aimed to do this weekend, was to go back to that spot. And I feel like I'm really missing family these days. I'm struggling not having that connection with people and not having trips to plan. You know, we're used to being away in California, but we're not used to not being able to travel to see people. And so it's been hard. And so going back to that spot, we've lived out here for 7 years and we've never done the 4.5 hour, it was more like 6, but we've never done the drive to go to these spots. And so we figured there's no better time like right now. And it was so special being able to take my boys there and being able to recreate some of the photos that my dad and my aunt took when they did this trip over 20 years ago. And it just meant so much. So that's why we went up to Cambria, and I'll share more. I'm gonna share more pictures from the trip and stuff on my Instagram too, because we just got so many good pictures, and I know this is a trip we'll remember forever, even though it was only a couple days. It just was so necessary. And eventually when the kids are big enough, we're gonna go back and do the whole thing, the whole 3-parter. But part of it is in the sequoias and lots of hiking and stuff, and it just was, I think it would have been a lot for the babies, and especially for our first trip away with them. So we decided to just test the waters with the beach trip, and I'm glad we did. But when they're older, we'll go back and do the whole thing for sure. But today is Labor Day, and we decided to avoid the beach today because we just spent the whole weekend at the beach. And I know Orange County beaches are about to be insane with the crowds and stuff. We're also in a heat wave. It's like over 100 degrees right now. So we have the AC on, we're staying indoors, and Christian's napping. But I think when he wakes up, I think we're going to go downstairs and blow up his little kiddie pool, put our swimsuits on as a family, and just like, we ordered some Instacart for some burgers and groceries and stuff. That should be here soon. And I think we're just gonna like play it cool and low key. I wanted to put a little bit of makeup on, but I'm leaving my eyes untouched because, you know, it just feels good. It feels so good to be back home. Even after a couple days, it feels so good to be back home in our space and like get a really good shower in, wash your hair, but like also not have to be fully ready. I don't know. Feels good for a nice long weekend. So I'm kind of rambling, but wanted to catch you guys up on where my head was at. Let me know if you guys have any requests for future videos, anything you'd like to see. Here's Arlo.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Let's see when little man wakes up. Also my nails. I don't know what is going on here. I need to fix this situation, but you don't care. You don't care, you love me no matter what. He's in that stage of always wanting to eat my face, right?